Hello and welcome to the RogueLands Ultimate Weapons series. Today, I'm having a bit of a change of scenery, and the reason is I'm not testing a weapon in the traditional sense. Today I'm testing out the Forgeblade. Now, this weapon, for anybody who cares, it's just a regular old sword. It scales with 1-to-1 off strength like any other sword in the game would. Obviously, Ultimate Weapons have a chance to change that, and this, I think, might be the only one that doesn't have like an additional effect or anything in combat. But the long and short of it is that the Forgeblade allows you to craft items that's, weapons, armor, shields, those three main types. Allows you to craft any of those from the forge with a higher chance to get a better rarity. Now, there's no easy way for me to explain how it works because, honestly, I don't fully understand it. So this is a test for me as much as it is a test for you. So, what I'm going to do, and I've made a little bit of space just to make sure this is possible, is I'm going to make 200 of the bolt edge, which is the second sword made from the first tier of stuff. So yeah, all of this is enough space. This is where it gets onto stuff where I haven't cleaned it out. All of these four is enough space to cover 100, so we can see the overall results from everything that pops up. So, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to go and make them all. So, the reason I'm using Baradin instead of Roos is to show off the Forgeblade and how it works there. And also take Blacksmith into account, because it's something I'm not super familiar with anyway. All in all, I should have a 10%, which is 3% from Blacksmith, and 7% from Forgeblade, chance to get higher tier items. And I think, just off the top of my head, that's a 7% chance to get 7% higher chance to get legendaries, epics, and rares. So I'm not sure how it all stacks, I'm not sure how it all works, but the only way to do it is to test it. So I have got the bolt edge here. This is the thing I'm going to be making 100 of twice. So the one test will be done with Baradin, and another test is going to be done with Roos, my regular character, without the use of the Forgeblade, so we can see the difference. So I'm going to start doing it now. We'll get some screenshots when I'm all done, and then we'll be able to transfer that across. Unless I come up with something particularly anecdotal or interesting, this is probably just going to be a time lapse. So this is hopefully not going to be too long a video, but please stay tuned. We're going to see what the results are, and hopefully we'll be able to get some conclusive evidence from 200 makings of the bolt edge sword. So I've organised them into something that makes a bit more sense to me. I've got 5 legendary bolt edges, 5 epics, 9 rares, and 81 commons. So that's out of 100. The breakdown is 5, 5, 9, 81. So those are the results from having a 10% higher chance to craft higher tiered items. That's using the Forgeblade in conjunction with the Blacksmith. I'm going to keep one of these, and the rest I'll probably do something with, because I tend to just try and give stuff away on streams. So if anybody's interested in those, it might not be these anymore because it'll be way back when. But if you are interested in getting some free stuff, maybe just hop on one of the streams I'm doing. It's got to be late time US in some places and very early morning here, all being well. But that's this test done with the Forgeblade. Like I said, I'm going to keep the legendary ones, but for the rest, I'm going to chuck them away, and we're going to come back on Roos and do this whole thing again without the Forgeblade at all. And so here we are on Roos, once again, just to show off. He does not have the Blacksmith, he does not have any weapon equipped. This is just to show the disparity between the Forgeblade when you're using it and the Forgeblade when you're not. So, in the Gear Forge again, unfortunately I've got to click another 200 times to try and sort this out, once for crafting, once for putting away. But again, you're welcome to watch the time lapse just to see that I've actually done this all by hand, and there isn't any cheating or anything, bad mannered involved. Just for a point of reference while we're still going, out of the 100, I do expect to get probably some legendaries. I'm not sure how many, but I do expect to get some. Maybe one, maybe two, but that's probably as much as I'm gonna think I'll get, because it's not exactly common to get them, and I think, you know, I have trust in the Forgeblade, given that it's an item that certainly I've used a long time. So maybe I should have some more faith in it than I actually do, and for that reason, I think we will get something, but we'll have to wait and see. Final one is common as well. Okay, that's it. Those are all of the weapons made. From the second batch, this is the batch without the Forgeblade, without using the blacksmith uniform. I got one legendary, just one, and obviously we know the weapon has that effect. It's been documented by the people before, but I think this has been a relatively good test to show you that it does actually make a difference. Now again, excuse my very poor math, I'm going to do this live with you instead of having to do it off screen. One legendary out of 100. Let's write this down very quickly. Legendary, 1. Epic, 4. Rares, that's 12, 13. And 30, 60, 66, 72, 78, and 82. So, the spread of commons between the two is actually very similar. Whereas before, with the Forgeblade, we saw a 5, 5, 9, 81 breakdown. In this case, we've seen a 1, 4, 13, 82 breakdown. So, the commons 81 and 82, not much difference. The way that I think it's worked, and again, this is me trying to come to an understanding about the Forgeblade with you, because it's not something that I've ever really had the chance to test on such a scale. The commons are about the same. Then the amount of non-commons that I crafted is pretty much the same again. Obviously there's 18 combined within the non-Forgeblade one, and there's 19 with the Forgeblade. So that difference, again, wasn't very high. All we saw the difference in is the distribution of rares, epics and legendaries. I need to perform this test a few more times, but I think that's ample information right now to be able to say, yes, the Forgeblade does make a difference, and the difference it does make is in the rarity of the uncommons you'd get. Let's put it like that. So, I've crafted, 200 Forgeblades, and the overall distribution, I got 6 legendaries, I got 9 epics, I got 21 rares, and then a grand total of 163 commons. So I mean, it's been interesting to get those results. And again, I will reinforce, I think, and I'll probably believe this until I do tests in the future, which I don't really want to do because it's quite taxing, but if I do any tests in the future, I'm going to go in with the mindset that you don't have a higher chance of getting a legendary as such, but you have a better chance of getting a rare that's like non-common, I should say, an uncommon one, and the rarity of that is more likely to be legendary if you're using the Forgeblade. So that's been a little review, little trying a snapshot of the Forgeblade itself. It's been a strange one, it really has, because I couldn't go in and show you all the damage or anything like that because it's irrelevant. And this means this is a different kind of video on the same series, and I want to be as informative as possible. But it's very, very difficult when I don't know all the information and the wiki is lackluster in sharing that information with you. So, hopefully this has been eye-opening for a couple of people. If people were skeptical for whatever reason about how good the Forgeblade was, I had a 10% chance to get better items, and I ended up getting, out of 100, 4 more legendaries, 1 more epic, and a couple of less rares, but at this point, who really minds? And so yeah, that's how everything's been broken down. Roos unfortunately only got 1 legendary out of 100, compared to Baradin with his Forgeblade getting 5. So it is definitely worth getting one if you haven't got one already. Obviously, if you do like videos like this, I don't think there's many other weapons that fit this same sort of category. But that's my little bit of research done. That's my bit of good done for the day, very early out of the way. And if you do want to see more from this series or more videos like this, obviously let me know in the comments. And stay tuned to the channel. Press subscribe if you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video, which I'm trying to do a bit more regularly as time goes on. So that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you all in the near future, hopefully with some more Ultimate Weapon series stuff, and maybe not with quite so much clicking ever again. And until then, see you later.